Hello and welcome to the Quever channel. I am Jason, your host. As a child and a teenager, I was so sad that I cried nearly every time I woke up in the morning. Before I put my mask on, before I put the fake smile on, before I created my persona to survive. And I thought that everyone else was dealing with the same thing. I thought everybody else was sad inside. It was incomprehensible for me to think that anybody around me as I was growing up was smiling because they were actually happy, because the act of smiling took so much energy and took so much effort. I didn't know I had bipolar type 2, just like I didn't know I had ADHD or was autistic. All I knew during my childhood was a deep, almost unending sadness. And the almost exhausting other half of it was when my brain found something that did give me enjoyment, that I would zoom off to the opposite end of the scale and be so hyper and happy and bouncy about it. I'd be literally bouncing off the walls about it. It was like my brain was so starved of that feeling, that positive nature, that when it did find something, it grabbed on so hard that it was like a completely different life. I wasn't officially diagnosed with bipolar type 2 until I was in my 50s. But the only person, apart from my mum, who really understood what I was going through was my wife, Paola. She saw through it. She saw the pain and suffering in me. And so did my mum. I was mentally exhausted by probably 10 a.m. every single school day. By 10 a.m. I had nothing left in me. Why? Because from the moment I woke up, I was trying to be like everyone else. I was trying to smile, to laugh at the jokes that I didn't understand, to be a part of the classroom, to be social when I was feeling dead inside. You see, most people don't understand what deep depression is like. It's like you're living in a black and white world where everybody else is in colour. It's like you've got a black hole in your pit of your stomach that drains away every bit of positive energy. You can't even get angry. Even the act of being angry and having a negative emotion that's high on the scale, it's just not there. You just feel this deadness inside that creeps through you, that has its hooks in every part of you. And everything that's supposed to be good everything that you see in everybody else, and you watch the adverts on TV and you see the people smiling and happy and doing things and you don't understand. For most of my childhood, I was tired and I was dead inside, except when I was around computers or something else that took my interest. It still takes, even today, in my 50s, it takes an effort of will. Because I can't mask anymore. I can't lie. I can't think. I've lost the ability a long, long time ago. It was burnt out of me. And it will never, it's part of my evolving mental landscape that I can never do those I'm okay anymore without it being true. I'm okay, you're okay. That's why I do these vlogs. This is why the first thing I do usually when I get up is to do this, unless I'm going to be going out on my Quingo. The difference between a good and a bad day is usually how much effort I've got to spend dragging my fucking soul out of the pit to a normal level. The difference between a good and a bad day is usually how well all of my safe space, my security, my coping strategies work. How much of my mental energy I've got to put into just dragging myself into a medium emotional state. The only thing that has probably kept me from institutionalization with this, or even worse, an end-of-life event, is simply my autistic side's affinity and special interest in computers and games and electronics and all of that. Because that allows me to counter the effects. This is why my whole life is so measured and everything is a coping strategy and everything's set up. This is why I have my primary computer here, my 2001 computer there, my arcade machine right there, my Steam Deck's charged over there to go in a minute, my Spectrum 48K, my Xbox 360, and every other piece of tech around the house to give me something to hold on to. My Discord server, my friends. I don't ever lie anymore, because part of it is because lying and deception, my brain can't, the concepts are hurt. The idea of saying something that isn't true actually hurts my brain. You'll notice it sometimes when I'm doing a vlog and I say something, I've said it wrong or I've made a mistake, and then 2-3 minutes later I have to correct myself instantly. I can't let it stop because my brain started to screech at me about this problem. And it's a self-defense. It's a self-defense issue now, because if you are dealing with depression and you put on the fake smile and tell people you're okay, that path leads down to a very dark place, because you're disconnecting yourself from what's really going on. If you aren't connected to the bad shit, if you don't acknowledge it and accept it, then how can you fight it? If you begin to go down the path of I'm okay, I'm okay, I'm okay, then very, very soon you will not be okay. This is why getting diagnosed is so important. Because that knowledge gives you power, gives you ability to see where things are coming from. You may not be able to stop them, you may not be able to fix them, but you know. And that little bit of knowledge helps. I always say every day is a fight for me. Everything, you don't have to win every day. You never will. Some days are going to be bad. It's like when I've had some days when the most I can do is play a few games with my friends, and that's it. I have no energy for anything else, because I have used every bit of my energy to try and drag myself down, either from too much hyper, or up from too much depression. And this is why I always say to you, it's so important, these logs, because I will always tell you the truth. I will always let you know if anything bad is going on. I will always let you know if I am having a bad day. But for those that don't deal with this kind of thing, imagine if 90% of your daily energy was used to actually just drag your brain into a state where you could appreciate and smile and be enthusiastic. Imagine if 90% of your energy for the day was used to get you to that point. See, I know going out on the Quingo makes me smile, makes me happy. It's a massive boost for me. But getting my head into the headspace where I can leave the house, get on the Quingo, and get to that point where I know it will make me smile and giggle and happy. It's a pure joy thing to ride around on the Quingo. I have to climb a mountain. And some days I haven't got the energy to climb that mountain. No, that's right. I will never every day go out on the Quingo, even though I desperately want to. Because some days the depression is too deep. The darkness is too thingy, and I've got to focus instead on just surviving those days. This is why I have so many coping strategies. This is why my house is an Aladdin's cave of computers and games and technology. Because sometimes those things are the handhold that allow me to climb the mountain. They are the safety nets that allow me to make the leap. And the hardest part is always when I've decided to leave the house and use the Quingo and that. It's the actual stepping off point. The actual making that transition from inside the house to the outside the house. It's never going to be easy, but all of you make a difference. Doing this makes a difference. Doing this helps every day. So this is Jason for the Queber channel. I hope you're having a wonderful day.